Get ready to discover 9 new features. In this new episode, I'll give you a front row tour of everything that's fresh and exciting in Canva. From new design tools to handy integrations, you will be the first to know. So buckle up and let's have a look at what's hot in Canva. Hey, what's up everyone? Ronnie here. Welcome back to our channel. This is the best place for you to learn about Canva, to learn about AI and all of the other tools that make the life of a content creator easier. Well, today we are looking at everything that's new in Canva. We are going to be looking at some new features, some new tweaks in the Canva interface. All right, let's start with what's new in video. The first new feature I want to talk about is going to please all of you who love playing around with animations. This one is called Motion Effects on Animations. And that is simply Canva introducing some new motion effects in its animation panel. All right, so to show you how that works, I am here in a blank document. This is a presentation document. I'll start by adding an element on this page. So let's say a home icon. Okay, let's say I'm building a website and I want to have this home icon right here in the corner of my website. Let's give this custom color. All right, so if I select this icon or this element, this will work with anything really, and click on the animate button. Now I can see that at the bottom of my menu right here, I have 4 new motion effects that are in the green color. So these are the new motion effects that Canva just added. So let's go over them one by one. The first one is called rotate, and you see if I hover my mouse over the rotate button, it starts rotating. If I click on it, I see that I can control the speed. There's a slider here, so this will only be available to Canva Pro users because it has a little crown right here. And I can also choose the direction in which this button is rotating. So if I wanted to rotate faster, I would move the slider to the right. Okay, and similarly to the left. So this is the first animation. It's called rotate. All right, so I'm going to remove this animation and show you the second one. Second one is called flicker. So your icon is going to flicker. Then we have pulse. Okay, so it's pulsating, kind of like a heartbeat. And the last one is called wiggle, which is quite funky as well. What I love about these effects is that you can customize them all. So pulse has the intensity, flicker has the speed, and wiggle has an intensity slider as well. But the second thing that I really like about these effects is that you can combine them. So you could have a rotating and pulsating. Let me remove all of them. Let me clear all. You could have a rotating and a pulsating icon at the same time. Okay, so now if I play this, you see, full screen, that's what's happening. You have your icon rotating and pulsating at the same time. So I like that you can combine all of these animations. You can combine all 4 of them if you want. I think this is pretty interesting for all of you into animations, creating videos, but also like wanting to add little details into your presentations, your website, or even your social media posts, because these things will add some subtle movement that will probably catch people's attention when they will stumble upon your content. And if you want to dive deeper into these motion effects and see how to use them, how to put them to work, I would suggest you watch Diana's dedicated video about these 4 new motion effects. You should see a thumbnail of this video popping on your screen right now, and I also have a link in the description of the video if you want to watch it later. So yeah, I love that Canva keeps on adding more and more effects and animations to make our lives as video editor, video producers easier. And by all means, these new motion effects will be available to all users, so free and pro. I've already showed you that pro users will have some extra settings available to them, some extra options to fine-tune these animations. And also they will be available both on desktop and mobile. Now let's move on to the second new feature. The next new feature is one that has been awaited for a very long time. I'm talking about captions. Yes, animated captions are now making their way to Canva, or kind of. Well, let me explain what I mean by that. First, I will need a video to show you how they work. So I have a bunch of videos of myself right here. Let me just select one. Okay, so this is me when I was shooting a tutorial showing you how to create short form videos.
Notice your shoes.
Okay, I'm talking in this video and I just want to cut this at the right time. Okay, so I'm gonna keep that junk right here. Okay, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna pause this. So once you have your video clip, there are two different ways you can show the captions. The first one will be to click on your clip and then use the three little dots right here and go all the way down to show captions. Okay, so this should, after a little while, because Canva will need a bit of time to generate these captions, they will show you the captions right here. So let me play the clip and see if this was correctly captured.
I couldn't help but notice your shoes. I'm a big sneakerhead as well. Are you a collector?
Okay, so that caption was perfect. The second way is when you play the video in full screen or when you share your video, let me pause that, you can simply click on that same button here that says show captions, okay? And when you play that video, it should be playing with the captions.
I couldn't help but notice your shoes. I'm a big sneakerhead as well.
Okay, so these are the two ways to show the automatically generated captions in Canva. Hold on a minute. I know you probably have 1,000 questions about captions, but before you start typing them in the comment section, let me try to answer as many of these questions as possible. For this, I'm going to be using a page that Canva wrote in their Help Center. All right, so the first thing I learned by reading this Help Center is that I can turn on captions for all of my audio and video content by default. So if I don't want to do it on an individual basis, I can turn them on in my account settings. So in order to do this, go to the little cog right here with your account settings. You can access this page from anywhere in Canva, I guess. So click here and then scroll down without clicking on anything. Scroll down to the section that says accessibility, okay? And you should see a section right here that says captions. Captions will be generated and displayed for all spoken word videos and audio content throughout Canva, okay? So if you turn that on, every single video that you have in Canva or audio clip will auto-generate captions. I'm not gonna leave that on for now because I don't think I want this like all the time, but I just wanted to show you that this is an option. So that's how you turn them on permanently. You can also do this on mobile. They will explain you on this tab right here. Next, instead of having captions for all of your media in Canva, you can turn them on for every media in one single design and one single document. So let me come back to my design with the video right here and show you how that would work. So from within the editor, I would click on the File button right here and go to View Settings. Okay, and then show captions on media. Okay, so every single media in this document. So if I add another video right here, okay, I'm adding this video, Canva will process.
You could say something
See?
like,
and the captions will automatically be translated. All right, so on both video, on all the media, I will be inserting in a specific document. And then there is a third way to do this that I already showed you. You can turn on caption for individual video. So again, very quickly, you click on your media, locate the three little dots, and then show captions right here. That will show the caption. All right, so now back to this little help section right here, because I think there are still a couple of burning questions about captions that have not been answered. Namely, can I download my design with captions? So that's the first thing I actually tried to do. Once Canva had auto-generated these captions in my video, I tried to download that same video, but there were no captions. So the answer is no. For now, captions can only be viewed on Canva. They can't be downloaded. So that's not great, at least for now. Let's hope that Canva brings a way for us to download these captions or for them to be hard-coded into the video, because to be honest, most people will not be watching our videos on Canva. They will probably be watching our videos once we have uploaded them into TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, you name it. This is where we need the captions, Canva. So to be honest, that was kind of a turn off. Next, can I edit my captions? No, captions are auto-generated, so they cannot be edited currently. So again, not great, but Canva, please give us a way to edit our captions, especially with names. When we are going to be creating a video about Canva and Canva will be translated as Canada or Caraba or Caramba or whatever, it's not going to look great. So give us a way to edit our captions. In which language are captions available? So that is interesting. These languages are actually supported: Arabic, Chinese, English, British, Australian, US, French, French-Canadian, German, Indonesian, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese, Spanish from both Spain, US and Latam, Thai and Turkish. So that's a pretty nice set of languages already. I haven't tried that and I'm going to spare you the hassle of watching me try to speak Thai, Arabic, Turkish and everything because it's going to be pretty painful, let's admit it. So instead of that, let's move on to the next feature. By the way, this one is for all users, free, pro, mobile, desktop, everyone. All right, guys, let's move on to what's new in whiteboards. The first novelty in whiteboards is a new feature called Configurable Elbowed Lines. What the heck is this? Well, let me show you. This is my presentation. I need to create a new page and I'm going to expand this to a whiteboard. And I want to show you what this new feature is about, these configurable elbowed lines. So first, I will need a couple of elements. Okay, let's use the same thing right here, the same home icon for my website. Okay, so let's see, I want to create a website and this whiteboard is about creating a sitemap. Okay, so for example, I want a page icon. So show me all of the page icons right here. So just need a page like so, which I'm going to duplicate couple of times because my website will have a few pages. All right, so I have all of these pages. Okay, what I'm going to do is to create a line now. So to create a line, you can hit the L key, L for line on your keyboard, and Canva will create a line. And this line, you can play around with it. You can connect it to your elements. You see, if I grab one of the extremities of the line, I can connect it to my home icon right here. So let me show you what's new here. With the line selected, make sure your line is selected, you can click on this line type button right here on top. So when you click here, you can choose to have a straight line or an elbowed line. Okay, so let's go for elbow. So what does elbow mean? You see here, you have this little option right here, this additional button, and this is to elbow your line, to kind of tweak your line as you want. And you can do this as many times as you want. So you can continue right here, you can continue right here. You can create configurable elbowed lines. Okay, so this line is not very useful like so. So I'm gonna simply delete it, create a new one. Again, want this to be an elbowed line. The first part will be connecting to my home page right here, and the second one to my page right here. Now, if I move this, the line will adjust automatically. So that is the novelty. Creating these lines and creating these elbows is what's new right here. Okay. Now, this little feature could be very useful to create custom sketches, custom flowcharts, custom flows on your whiteboards, just like I was doing right there. It is available to all users, so free and pro on desktop and mobile. So go check it out. And since we are into elbows, lines, and whiteboards, let me introduce the next new feature called elbowed lines with text. All right, let me demonstrate how this new feature works. All right, so to illustrate what elbowed line with text are, I'm going to be using a little scenario, a little situation, real life situation. So real that you're going to feel like it's talking about you. All right, so there is a person who is watching a YouTube video. So at this stage, the person creating the video might wonder, okay, is that person already subscribed to my channel? So let me show you how we would represent that flow right here on the whiteboard. So the first thing I would do is to copy this line right here and paste it right there. I'm going to connect the extremity right here and bring my line pretty much all the way to here. Okay, so at this stage, I want to ask a question. And the question will be in the form of a text box. So I'm going to call a text box using my T key. Okay, so there you go. A text box has been created. Let's make that bigger. And my text box will say subscribed, question mark. Okay, great. It's still not connected to my flow. So what I'm going to do is to grab the line and connect it to the flow. All right. Now I need a new line. So L, this created a new line. Again, this line will be connected here and come all the way here. All right. So now from here, I need to answer the question. So there will be a no answer and a yes answer. So again, what I'm going to do is to create a new line yet. And this line will be an elbowed line. Okay, so the first one will be connecting to my first line right there, and I need to answer the question on that line. So I could do the same thing, add a text box and then connect it, or I could simply, and that's the new feature, double click on that line and you see a text box will appear. So again, I need to make that bigger. So the answer here will be no. Okay, so I click on my text and I will write no. And the beauty of this is that I can then move the text box wherever I want on that elbowed line. That would work as well on the straight line. And there you go. So first answer is no. Next, I can create another line. So there we go, another line. I'm gonna connect it to the same thing right here. And I'm gonna make this elbowed as well. Okay, so I'm going to come all the way here. And now all I have to do is to create another box with size 55 and here write yes. Okay, again, I can move this wherever I want. And now I have the complete flow. A user is watching YouTube. Is that person subscribed yet? I can move that up a little bit. Then two different answers. No, Ronnie's kind of disappointed. Yes, Ronnie is super happy. So what do you think of my example? I personally think this was a great example and kind of shows you what to do. All right, guys, moving on to the next new feature. And this one is related to websites. The novelty with website is that Canva now lets you upload a custom image or a custom thumbnail for your website. Remember when you used to share your website, you would have like a random photo that Canva would select for you, or even worse, you would just have a Canva logo with some text underneath. So that is no more. Canva now lets us tweak the visuals that will be displayed when we share the link to our website. So let me show you how that works with my own website right here, ronniehermosa.com. So for that, you will need to open your website and click on Publish Website. Okay, so the button that you see here on top, click on that and you should go past the first screen right here. So click Continue. And from here, we can actually see the image that will be displayed when we will share that website URL. So the way you change that, the way you change that visual is simply by clicking on that little upload button right here. So I'm gonna do that right now. Click here and I have a visual right here. Let me show it to you. Just design that. So ronniehermosa.com. Let's say I want to use this image. I should probably rename it and call this Ronnie Hermosa website just for SEO purposes. I'm not sure this is going to be considered or not, but I am going to replace that photo for this one right here. All right, so the image is here. All I need to do is to publish. Canva is going to prepare my website. It should generate a link as well. So there you go. So I'm going to copy this link. And in order to test this, to test if this custom image is actually working, I'm going to head over to my LinkedIn page right here. Simply paste that link and LinkedIn should be generating that custom image. And there you go, guys. It works like a charm. I now have a custom thumbnail for my website. So I love that Canva brought that to everyone. So free and pro users. And this will work from every device. So mobile, desktop, I think that's pretty cool. All right, guys, how are you liking these new features? I think there's been some pretty good stuff so far. So what I suggest, if you like this video, is that you give us a like first, and then we keep rolling and see what's hot in presentations. There are two new features in the presentation space, and the first one I want to talk about is called QR code entry for presentation remote control. So I'm going to show you what this means and also show you what is a remote control for your presentation, because a lot of you might not remember. I've talked about this in the past, but if you've missed it, probably don't know what remote controls are. So remote control is this handy feature for people who are going to present with Canva. So for that, you first need to be in presenter mode. So you could access your presenter mode via the present menu right there and choose one of the modes, or you could just use this little arrow right here that extends your screen to presenter mode. So let's do that. So the remote control can be found under the three little dots right here, and this option right here that says share remote control. So I'm going to click on that, and this is what happens. So the novelty is that Canva now gives you a QR code right here. Before, you only had a link. So this QR code allows me to use my phone and scan it. So I'm just going to scan the code, and this will open Canva and put me in remote control mode. So this means that with these two arrows right here, I could move my presentation from one slide to another. I only have two slides here. I also have access to my magic shortcuts. So there you go, confetti, bubbles. So I have all of this right here at my fingertips. So remote control is a great tool if you want to have this kind of a device in your hand instead of a clicker when you're presenting. And the novelty is that Canva added that QR code. Before, you had to copy the link, send it over to your mobile, click on that link to get to the same place. So yeah, that is pretty handy. That's a little improvement, but it makes our lives easier. The second new feature related to presentation is an upgrade in the way you can display your presenter notes. All right, so let me show you what that means. I have my presentation right here. So there's an image, this one right here. And I do have some presenter notes that I have added. So if you don't know how to make your notes show up, you just click on the little notes button right here in the lower left corner. So I have my notes right there. All right, so now I need to go into presenter view. So for this, I can just press the present button right here, go presenter view and present. So this will bring me to my presenter view, my presenter window, and I also have an audience window that I can put on another screen if I want to. So this is what the presenter notes look like in presenter view. So the first thing you need to know is that you can drag this column right here. You see, click on that line and you can make that area where your notes are displayed smaller or bigger. I like to have this quite big because usually my camera is somewhere around here, so in the middle of my presenter notes. So if I want to look at the camera and present my notes, I need my notes to be kind of like right below the camera. So that is one thing. The novelty is that you can now select your notes and use this little bad boy right here, this minus and plus sign, to make your notes look bigger or smaller. You can just like click on this to bring them back to default, the little middle button, or you can go plus, minus. You can go pretty big, so this is as big as you can go. So this will allow you to read your notes with more ease, or just to see more of them. If you go like minus, you can see more in just one page without having to scroll through your notes. So that is a novelty, the flexibility to go bigger or smaller with your presenter notes. And also it is available to all users, free and pro, from all devices. So well done, Canva, once again. All right, guys, we are making some good progress with this episode. 2 more features to cover. The next section coming up is some tiny UI UX changes in Canva that will make our lives easier. I'll go over them much faster because I don't think these are major updates. But the first one is the ability to bulk drag and drop your files from the Canva homepage. So let me show you by coming back to the Canva homepage right here, and I'm gonna go to the projects area where I have all of my stuff. I'm gonna click on this social media icon folder, and I see I have a bunch of different stuff here, including social media icons. So what I can do is to simply select multiple icons like so, and now I can bulk drag and drop. You see, before I could not do this, like take all of them and move them all at once to, for example, to drop them in another folder right here. Before I could not do that. I could only do this for one individual item. But now you can select as many as you want, and now you can move them all. You see I have 7 items selected, and I can drag and drop them anywhere I want. So that is a tiny tweak, but quite useful. And this will work for everyone, free and pro, but only from a desktop. So desktop app and desktop in your browser, not on mobile. All right, guys, I have one last UI tweak to talk about, and this one is something very similar to another feature I mentioned in the previous episode of What's Hot. That is the possibility to change the color of your apparel, like t-shirts, hoodies, whatever piece of clothing, in the Mockup app. If you remember correctly, in the previous episode, I mentioned that in the Smart Mockups app, you could change the color of your clothes. And now Canva is bringing that feature to the native mockup app called Mockup. So let me show you how that would work. So I am back to my presentation right here. I have an image, just a Bitmoji of myself. So I could click on that image, okay, go to Edit Photos and find the Mockups app. Okay, so this is not the same as Smart Mockups. It is Canva's native attempt to integrate the Mockup app into their features. So if I click on that, okay, and select any apparel, okay, so let's click on See All, this lady right here on the football field. Great. Now, all I need to do is to drop my design inside the photo of the lady. And now the design is going to come right there on the t-shirt. So with that selected, if I click on Edit, I now have an extra feature right here on top of this menu, this editing menu with the name color. Okay, so that is the color of the t-shirt. So if I click here, I can change that color for any color I want, really. I could use the color picker as well. So if I want to go and grab the blue from my t-shirt here, I can absolutely do that. So I think this is a great addition. It's kind of a logical evolution of the Mockups app, which is the app Canva is trying to promote as their native features. So I love that they brought that feature to Smart Mockups first, they saw that it worked, and now they are integrating this into their native app, which is available to all users. So well done, Canva. This should be hitting your Canva account very soon if it's not there yet. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it here for today. This was an extensive dive into the Canva new features. You know, you can always come back to our channel to know what's hot in Canva. This was episode 31 already. So I'm going to leave you with the rest of the playlist where you can find the other episodes of What's Hot. Thank you for watching until the end. Thank you for sticking with us. I will see you in the next video.